So in a tribal chiefless SmackDown, it went okay. I know some expected, well, we didn't even expect Roman Reigns to not be there, to be honest, but I know some of you probably didn't like the show, but I did. Welcome back to Within the Ropes, ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans. It is your host, BRIANTRONIC. And I'm back to review SmackDown. It was a good one. We'll go ahead and get it out of the way. We got the return of Zelina Vega. All right. That was exciting. Some more very good storytelling within the tribal chief and Edge and, their whole situation going on. And a whole lot more. But I'm going to start from the top. They started off playing a video package at the beginning of the show, showing what Edge did last week when he returned. Edge would then open up the show as he talks about WrestleMania and how the whole situation played out. Daniel Bryan stopping him from winning and just being in the match in general. He says now that he has Roman Reigns one-on-one, that he could beat him. He also says Roman Reigns knows that he can beat him. He then shows a picture of WrestleMania when he had Roman in the crossface with that little part of the chair that is at the bottom, like in the back. I don't know, part of, the one that he put in his mouth and did the crossface. He says last week when Roman heard his music, he solidified what he already knew by the look on his face, and that he knows deep down that he's the guy that has his number. We'll see about that, Edge. He says he's going to beat Roman. It's just a matter of when. And he said that that's inevitable and that he'll be the Universal Heavyweight Champion. So, look, man, if this was all true and if Edge was certainly going to beat the tribal chief, our tribal chief, your tribal chief, then I think he would have done that at the show of shows, the biggest show of them all. But there's no way. We all know that Roman Reigns is not losing the Universal Championship, especially not before SummerSlam. He not doing that. The big dog, I still call him the big dog. The big dog is not losing his championship before what I think and what WWE is, I guess, advertising as the show of shows. This will be the biggest show of the year for them, according to WWE and what they have planned. Hopefully, if all things go well, it seems as though we're not going to have any Cardi B involved, considering that she's pregnant now. But she could still be there in some type of capacity, right? She could still host a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Jimmy Uso and Paul Heyman are backstage with no Roman. Jimmy says that he's got Roman's back just like he has his. And he says that him and the tribal chief are going to get Edge, put him down, and then stab the family flag right in his chest. Seems like a good plan, right? Seems like a typical tribal chief bloodline plan, right? But, I mean, let's be honest. Jimmy ain't no Jay. Jay a killer. I don't know if Jimmy all the way there yet. I think Jimmy just upset. Jimmy's got a lot of emotions. Jimmy's, he could be like, I don't know, depressed but he's no Jay. Jay was poised. Jay was a killer. Jay turned into literally the right-hand man, the next guy up after the tribal chief. Jimmy ain't there yet, though, but we'll see. The first match of the night was King Shinsuke, as Rick Boogs called him when he introduced him, Kingsuke Nakamura and Big E versus Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews. Baron Corbin makes his entrance looking sad. No crown, beard, looking a mess, hairline all messed up. The hair in the back is growing in again. Just looking a complete, like, dog shit. Dog water, as the kids would say. Greg Hamilton makes a mistake when he's announcing him, and he says, King Corp! And he goes, Oh, sorry. They completely cut his music off, and he announces him as Baron Corbin. Right? I think that's still Greg Hamilton. I think, yeah, that's still Greg. This match was good. Not too long into the match, Baron Corbin gets distracted. Looks up at the big screen as his car is getting towed in the middle of the match. And he's kind of looking like, what the hell is going on? Like, right? If it ain't one thing, it's another. Um, his car gets towed in the middle of the match. Big E would then capitalize on the opportunity, hit him with the big ending, and win the match for him and Shinsuke. As Corbin looks sad in the ring and kind of looks, like I said, he looks like depressed and just sloppy and like dog water. But anyways, we'll see. It's interesting. I like what they're doing with Corbin. I seen someone on Twitter say that there's no way that they're going to make Corbin a babyface. You never know. You never know. Corbin's a pro. He might be able to do it. He might be able to pull it off. Bayley makes her way to the ring to go face to face with Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair would come out and says what Bayley needs is a crack in the mouth. She talks about how she keeps beating her over and over and over, calls Bayley obsessed, questions why Bayley even thinks she's in her head. Bayley then goes on and says that she knows she's in her head. In fact, Bianca says no matter how many times she beats her, she's going to keep coming up with excuses. She then says that there's only one way to end this, and I wasn't expecting this from Bianca. Might I add that this is a very good promo from Bianca Belair. Seemed much more like herself, less like something was written. Wasn't perfect. I still can tell it was written, but it's progress. It's a lot better. She says that there's only one way to end this, and that she needs to embarrass her, and that she's over Bayley. She then challenges Bayley to an I Quit match. I Quit match. I Quit match. I Quit match. Can you believe that? I Quit match. Something's wrong with my desk, guys. I'm leaning on it, and it's doing some weird noise. I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. Bayley laughs, and then she says she's never quit anything in her life. Says if she can make her quit, she'd quit SmackDown, WWE, or even quit altogether. Like just quit wrestling altogether, period. She says that if Bianca quit, she wouldn't be surprised at all, and that Bianca isn't the champ that she plays to be, and that she accepts the challenge. So we're going to get Bianca versus Bayley in an I Quit match for the SmackDown Women's Championship, which I think gives Money in the Bank as a pay-per-view a whole, like even more hope and even more of an excitement, especially for those fans that are going to be there in attendance. Bianca Belair laughs and says she's excited to hear that. And she's excited, she's excited to hear her say, I quit. So I'm interested to see what happens. I don't see Bianca Belair quitting. Maybe we get a Sasha Banks return here in front of fans. Maybe. Who knows? Paul Heyman is backstage and approached by Jimmy Uso yet again, asking if Roman has gotten to the building yet. He tells Heyman he's going to step up and be main event Jimmy Uso. And he says that he's going to go to Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville and tell him to save some time at the end of the show because he's going to call out the Rated R Superstar Edge tonight. Which, in my mind, I'm like, there's an ambush coming. There's no way. There's no way that this is going to end and just Jimmy face-to-face with Edge. Like Roman, that's when we'll see Roman, right? We then get the last man standing match for last man standing qualifying match to see who would be next up in the Money in the Bank ladder match against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. There was a table spot where Kevin Owens had climbed up to the top rope and Sami pushed him off and KO went crashing down to the table. Yo, KO can take a lot of punishment. He takes a lot of it. Like, a great deal of punishment, especially when he's in a match with Sami Zayn. And that's how you know that they have such good chemistry and such respect for each other. because, it must take, you have to have a lot of respect for the person that you're wrestling in order to take that many bumps for them, right? And if I'm not mistaken, didn't Kevin Owens say he was going to take a break? I thought Kevin Owens was taking a break. A few weeks ago, he had put on Twitter something about how, he was going to take some time or take a break or something like that. But yeah, that was a big spot. Sami hit a suplex on the apron. Again, another like brutal situation to be in, but they're pros, so they're always in situations like that. KO with the power bombs on the apron, Sami with the suplexes on the apron, things like that. I love that. Haluva kick, Sami would deliver to Sami Zayn would deliver a haluva kick to Kevin Owens, but it's not enough to put KO away. He hits him with two more, but still not enough as KO rolls out to the ring just as the count of 9. And look, at this point, I'm like, all right, they've done everything. What's next? What can they do next, right? Sami eats a super kick as he tried to fly through the ropes to do that outside DDT, the one that I fell in love with when he went up against Cesaro. Now, look, I wasn't a big indie guy. I'm still not a big, super indie guy, right? I knew who these guys were when they were on the indies, but I didn't watch a lot of their matches, okay? But when he did that DDT through the turnbuckle or through the bottom rope on the outside from one side of the ring to the other to Cesaro at the NXT TakeOver, I was sold on Sami Zayn from that moment. But yeah, he tried to go for that through the rope. KO delivered a pop-up power bomb to Sami, but he recovers before the 10 count. KO hits another pop-up power bomb through the announce table, and then another through a normal table, and then a third off the ring apron for the win finally. And I mean, that's kind of a bizarre way to end it. I didn't think that. I thought it was going to take a little more, but I'm not mad. Again, I'm kind of like, all right, can this be over? Can they be friends or something? Because we've gotten this match for months now. I don't really know what else to say about it. But again, I'm not disappointed. This was a good match. It probably was the last match. Some people are saying it was the best match on SmackDown all year. I don't know about that. Megan Morant backstage, new chick, catches Edge and asked his thoughts on Jimmy Uso and his plans to call him out. He says that he knows this is a setup, and he says he knows what's coming, which I said it just a while ago when I talked about, when Jimmy Uso said he was going to go and talk to Sonya and Adam Pearce. I know this is a setup as well. I know it is 100%. Rick Boogs is backstage with Corbin, making fun of him, making jokes, talking about everything he's lost, mentioning King in many different ways. And Corbin goes on and says, screw you. And he doesn't think the jokes are funny. It'll be interesting to see who they put in front of Corbin in front of fans, though, because, again, if they're trying to turn him babyface, listen, one or two things can happen. They can either be turning him babyface, or he could just be turning into an even bigger heel. Don't jump the gun, right? Because he could most definitely be an even bigger heel than he was before. Just because he's king anymore doesn't mean that it's time for him to go babyface. Doesn't mean that at all. So only time will tell. This is where the good stuff started happening. Sonya Deville comes out to announce another woman in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Again, someone who does not have to qualify. I don't know the motive here. Don't understand it. She comes out and she announces that it's Zelina Vega. Big return for her. I'm happy. I'm going to talk about her return and the uproar that it has caused amongst the internet wrestling community. And I just want to say, leave her the fuck alone. Number one, don't act like you gave a fuck that much about the fact that she left and she talked about unionized and all of that. Don't act like you gave a fuck. Listen, I'm a Twitch guy, okay? I play games on Twitch. I got a Twitch. Listen, I didn't see half of the people that be online I didn't see half the people on her Twitch supporting her and in her streams like that and doing it all time. I don't see half of you doing that. All right. When she was streaming and when she was trying to make her money and do all that, when she took that leap, all right, maybe she did it for the money. Maybe she did it because she needed to do it. Maybe she did it because, I mean, Alistair wasn't, I mean, she definitely needed to do it now because look, Alistair, he ain't doing nothing right now. He doesn't have a job, right? So leave her the fuck alone, man. I'm happy for her. Glad to see her back. Hopefully they don't fuck this off and they do something with her going forward. Zelina Vega grabs the mic. She talks about how she's going to win the match. She's going to cash it in on whoever the champion is. And she said that she'll be the next Raw, SmackDown, or NXT Women's Champion. I thought that was interesting that she threw in NXT in there. So we have to remember. Or maybe they'll just scrap it and act like she never said that. I don't know. I thought it was interesting, though, that she did mention NXT. I would like to see an NXT cash in. That would be fucking crazy at a takeover. That'd be amazing. Liv Morgan comes down to the ring and they have a brief back and forth about how and why Zelina gets to be in the match because she didn't work to get in the match and that she doesn't deserve it. Says it's not fair. Zelina mocks her and says, She calls herself one of the most popular women in all of WWE, says she can wrestle circles around Liv Morgan. Liv slaps her and then says, prove it. Asks Sonya Deville to let her prove it. Yet again, Liv Morgan having to prove herself as if she hasn't already in a match against Zelina Vega, which lasted all of 5 minutes, 2 minutes? No, I don't even think 5. I think it was 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes. As Liv picks up the victory, which I was kind of conflicted on that. One, I'm glad Liv won because it's Liv and I understand the story that they're trying to tell. But Zelina Vega is just like, ooh, coming back to a big L. But hey, at least it wasn't a qualifying match, and at least she's already in the Money in the Bank ladder match. This is going to be exciting. This women's Money in the Bank ladder match is going to be exciting. Hold on, let's go look right now. Give me a second. Let's look at the card real quick. Let's see. The women that we have in this, I think it's underestimated right now. Okay, so far, Zelina Vega, Asuka, Naomi, Carmella, Nikki Cross, and Alexa Bliss. What? No Charlotte, no Becky, no Banks, no Bailey, no nothing. With the exception of Alexa Bliss and maybe Carmella, this is an all new field. And I think there's still 1 or 2 more spots left. Something like that, 1 or 2. I'm not sure. But that's a pretty damn good women's Money in the Bank ladder match so far. So far, so good. Backstage, we get Pierce and Sonya Deville as they're approached by Seth Rollins. He confronts them about why Edge is facing Roman instead of him, says they promised him. Pierce says that Edge is worthy of the one-on-one match, obviously, because he won the Royal Rumble and he ended up not getting that one-on-one match like he should have. But then one thing I don't realize is, and I don't think they're, again, like paying too much attention to realize as a whole company, is that Daniel Bryan, he fought Roman and he could have beat him already on his own anyways at Fastlane. So I don't know. It's just weird that they don't mention that. He says Edge is like I said, he says Edge is worthy of the one-on-one match. They then tell Seth that if he beats Cesaro next week, he's going to earn a spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Seth takes a deep breath, then he laughs and walks away. Again, I'm going to keep saying this. I love this Seth Rollins. I love Seth freaking Rollins. That's the fucking man. I was there when he cashed in. Don't play with him. I was there live, 70 plus, Levi's Stadium. Don't play with me, wrestling fans. All right? That's my guy. Next match we get is Otis versus Angelo Dawkins. Otis wins. That's pretty much all I got to say about that. He was aggressive. He was dominant. He won in a big man way. And I like this new Otis. I know you guys are talking about his look and his mustache and his hair. Who fucking cares? He's being taken serious. He's acting serious. Chad Gable is leading the way. This is perfect. This is fucking perfect. I think it's perfectly booked. He's destroying one of the hottest tag teams single-handedly on his own. So, yeah, I like it. They announced that next week we get Shinsuke and Baron Corbin in a qualifying match. Boring. And I would say boring to Cesaro and Seth Rollins in a qualifying match as well. But, I mean, that match, Seth Rollins is Seth Rollins and Cesaro is Cesaro. Like, they finna put on a freaking banger. So we get to the end of the show. Jimmy Uso comes out. He calls out Edge, who obliges before Edge sends Jimmy into the post. Yeah, they got right to it. Edge said, look, the only person being set up is you. And then Jimmy sort of looks around. What the fuck? Like, where's Roman? Like, as if he was expecting Roman to come out. Jimmy super kicks Edge when he goes to hit him with the stairs before rolling him onto the ring and beating him. Look, this was just an all-out beatdown. And this is what I mentioned earlier. Like, Jimmy Uso, he ain't there yet. Jey Uso would have kicked Edge's ass. He would have. He would have been smart enough to know, don't go out in the ring and call him out. Attack him in the back. Catch him off guard. He's expecting you to go to that ring and call him out because that's what you said you were going to do. You got to come slicker than that, though, Jimmy. You got to come slicker than that. You got to slither. You're not the big dog. You're not the rated R superstar. As someone like I'm sorry, not the rated R superstar. Who the fuck? I meant the Apex Predator. Who the fuck? Yo, what's wrong with me? Golly. I'm looking at my son right now. Charlie, what's wrong with me? Ow. I said the rated R superstar. Rated R star. All right, we're going to act like I didn't even say that. Y'all know who I mean. He's not Randy Orton. He's not even Edge. He's not someone who can outsmart and slither and do all that. So you should have thought better. You should have known. Edge drops him with a boot and locks in the submission before Jimmy taps out. Edge breaks the hold before spearing Jimmy. Edge then goes, stands tall. Nowhere to be found is Roman Reigns at this point. Nowhere to be found. And at this point, I'm like, yeah, he did this on purpose. He really just wants to teach Jimmy a lesson. He wants to see if Jimmy can go out there and get it on his own. Hell, maybe, who knows if Roman was even watching SmackDown. Roman was probably just chilling. He could give two fucks about SmackDown if he's not on it, right? Why would he? Edge then goes outside, finds a chair, breaks the little piece off of it, like we talked about at the beginning of the show, like he did at WrestleMania, like he did last week. Breaks off the little piece, and then he applies a crossface to Jimmy while pulling back with that little piece of metal in Jimmy's mouth, reapplying the submission. Again, the visual. Jimmy's eyes looking like they're going to pop out of his head. Edge looking like he's uncontrollable. Like, he's just crazy. That's the Edge I want. That's the Edge I like. That's the Edge that Fort Worth is going to get at Money in the Bank. What a run, right? What a moment for Edge. What a run. What a situation for him. I'm so happy that he's back in a sort of full-time capacity and that he's doing promos and, really out there giving it his all. And he's being physical. That's what I like about it. Gives hope for everybody else. But we've already talked about that. Daniel Bryan and Edge, everybody coming back and giving hope to Baron, or not Baron Corbin, but guys like, what's his name? Savior Misbehavior. Hold on. Let me go to his page real quick. Corey Graves. Corey Graves sent out a tweet yesterday. Hopefully he hasn't deleted it. He said, I was put on this earth to do something. What I'm doing is not it. And everybody immediately started talking about wrestling and, leaving the company and, him being in the position that he's in and WWE not believing in him. And he then tweeted and said, "Oh, wow, you guys took this way differently than I intended. It wasn't meant in a bad way. Not everything is about wrestling, right? So shut up. Stop making excuses and excuses. Stop making accusations, wrestling fans. Not everything's about wrestling, okay? Maybe wrestlers shouldn't be so cryptic then, huh? Nah, they're entitled to do whatever they want. I can't say that. They can do whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They're them. That's why they're them." Ed starts screaming at the camera and SmackDown goes off the air. That's pretty much it. That's the show. It was a good show. No Roman Reigns, not a Roman Reigns in sight. We got Roman Reigns a few times, but it was in a video package form. Roman Reigns was not there in the flesh, and it's good. I wasn't mad at it. Let's go look at some things, though, since it's Saturday and SmackDown was last night, and I didn't get to it because I was doing some things. Let's go. I believe they got some reports on what the ratings were like for last night's show. It says, according to Fightful.com, SmackDown draws the lowest overnight viewership on Fox. On Fightful, it says, according to Spoiler TV, WWE SmackDown on July 2nd, 2021 drew 1.741 million viewers, which is down from the 1.859 million viewers drawn the week prior. This is the lowest number of any SmackDown episode to air on Fox. Note, this does not include the episodes that aired on FS1. The next lowest number came almost exactly 1 year ago when the July 3rd, 2020 edition drew 1.776 million views. It says that Friday's SmackDown posted a 0.4 rating in the 18 to 49 demographic during both hours, which trailed only the Stanley Cup Finals game between the Tampa Bay Lightning and Montreal Canadiens. Hour 1 breakdown was 1.699, and an hour 2 was 1.782. So more people tuned in at the end, probably, obviously, because they wanted to see the big dog. They knew what was going to happen. They wanted to see Roman, right? And then I'm not sure if Zelina came in at the second hour or not. Oh, no, she did. Zelina came in at the second hour for sure. So that's probably why more people tuned in. Zelina Vega came on. They wanted to see, hey, what's going on? And then they talked about YouTube numbers and stuff. We're not going to get into that. But yeah, shout out to them. Fightful's always good for information and stuff like that whenever you want to get your wrestling information and things. But hey, you can always follow me on social media at Within the Ropes and at Brian Tronic, because you can get news there too from me. Listening to this podcast, you can get news from me. From me. Like Triple H. Me. Let's call a spade a spade. I made your ass. Let's talk about most memorable moments. And yes, I just quoted, that is one of them. When Triple H and Chyna had their little dispute on Raw. Let's be honest. I forgot the actual date. Let me go look for it. Okay, let's see. We were a little over a month from that little anniversary. Yes, it was August 16th, 1999. I believe Triple H was trying to get Chyna to give up her number one contender slot to Triple H. And Chyna refused, and he said, I made your ass. Let's call a spade a spade. And then he said, listen, you ungrateful bitch, I am not asking anymore. And then she told him that he didn't have the balls to beat her, and then that they would have a match or something like that. And I don't know, a whole bunch of shit. And they ended up being on the same page anyway. Triple H ended up getting the match. But it was a fiery moment between those two. So that was one. Another memorable moment I would have to say, that's a hard one. Do I got another one? Charlie, do you have a memorable moment? Do you have a memorable moment in wrestling? No, just be anything. Yeah. I'm asking my son if he has a memorable moment. Let's see if he has one. I don't know if y'all can hear him. He said it was when someone came back. I'm pretty sure y'all can hear him. He doesn't know.
I don't know. I had to think about one.
Man, he's supposed to I threw the alley-oop. He's supposed to slam it. Hey. Let's see. Damn, this is tough because there's so many memorable moments. I don't know if I said, I did say the Steiners already. I said the Steiners. I think I said Juventud losing his mask, and if I didn't, that's a little extra there. Bug flying behind. I don't know, man. We'll just give you guys one. We'll think of more. It'll be more better afterwards. I tried to throw the alley-oop to my son. He didn't slam it. He missed it. He got butterfingers. It's okay, though. Again, I appreciate everybody tuning in, checking it out. A day late, but we still went crazy. We still got it in. SmackDown review. Follow me on socials, at Within the Ropes on Twitter, at Within the Ropes on Instagram, at Brian Tronic on Twitter, at Brian Tronic on, fuck Brian Tronic. You don't have to follow that. Follow Within the Ropes. Follow Within the Ropes. Follow Within the Ropes. Follow right now if you're listening. Go to Twitter right now. Follow Within the Ropes on Twitter and on Instagram. Go, 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 go. And we'll be back for Monday Night Raw. I got some interesting, some special things coming up this week. I'm not gonna say it right now. I'll probably just drop it on y'all. But something special coming. So stay tuned. Everybody have a good evening. And good night. I said I wouldn't do that in the last episode. God damn, why'd I do it? All right, have a good one, guys. It's been a long time. Come on. Yeah. Hey, yo, it's my life, my time, my rights, my rhymes, my grind, my struggle, hustle, sweat in my blood too. My predator smells fear. Smell a lot. My competitors flex here. Cause they smelled I was hot. I want it all. Excess, the sex, much success. Stress us. I want it all.